Hello everyone, it is Hannah, your sparkling Spectrumite, and welcome to another WIP and Chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress, and chat just means I get to chat with you. And I have not been able to do that for the last week, so I apologize for that. I was really hoping I'd get to film some stuff last week, but last week was just kind of crazy, so I am back this week, and just real quickly, the kit that I'm going to work on today is I thought I'd bring out this old WIP Mama Knows Best. I was working on this for Mackenzie's or Dragon Wing Diamonds event, the Stoke Your Dragon Fire, and I thought I'd pull this out because I was working on Sugar High by DAC and Lizzie Falcon, which I absolutely love, but unfortunately I ran out of a color, and so I am just waiting for DAC to get that to me, which of course their customer service was great. They are already sending it to me, but I'm just like, I'm not one of those people that I don't want to keep continuing until I get that color. So that was what was going on with that. So I said, you know what? No worries, I can pull this one out again. And frankly, I'm already about halfway done. So I'm just kind of like, well, if I get this done, then that would also free up some of my storage containers. So, not a bad idea. So a couple of tools I'm using my Enablers Outpost pen. This is the one I've been using for a while. It's just making me happy. I'm like got a whole vibe with it right now. So I'm really liking this. I am using a thin multi 8 placer from DAC. I do love these multi placers. They are really, really nice. I'm going to actually use some scented tacky stuff. This is from Rose Mud. It used to be Excuse Me Designs, but then she changed it to Rose Mud. And what I love about Rose Mud is because all her stuff, her profits go to charity, which is really, really cool. And her tack is always really, really good. I've used it for quite a long time. And yeah, so this is Rose Mud. It is Beach Blanket, which I love this scent. It smells like sunscreen, but I don't know about you guys. I love the smell of sunscreen because to me, that's like directly tied in with summer and it is right around the corner. So I am all about the summer vibes right now. And then I am going to use some Wee Wax, or this is a Wee Bit from my good friend Laura over at Anxiety Art Adventures. She also owns Wee Wax. She makes amazing diamond painting wax melts, and also some chapstick, which is really cool. And this was one she sent me that is strawberries and champagne. Again, I thought, it's a nice kind of spring vibe thing. And then I figured I'd switch out my tray and use my tray that I actually got for this kit. Is my fun custom-made Bijou Bliss tray. I had it customized to these colors, this really pretty kind of gold metallic or copper metallic and the black sparkle. They've got the magnetic tops, which I really like. And yeah, so overall, it's a great tray. So, all right, guys, so just kind of getting right into it. Oh, and I guess for storage, I'll show you. I'm using my Elizabeth Wards, and or they're not really Elizabeth Wards, they're the knockoff brand from Joann's, which was called Hildy and Joe, but again, I don't know if they even sell those anymore, so I can't really say. But hopefully everyone's doing well. I am doing great. It was a bit of a crazy week last week, but again, not in a bad sense, just busy, really. And what made it busy is last week, so I guess we need to start at the beginning. So we'll start at the beginning of last week, right? Well, I'll try and tell this in a sequential order. So what was going on last week is, first of all, Monday was a bit of a surprise. Is my car, my Jeep that I got, and again, not a new Jeep, but new to me at least, that was kind of scary. It stalled on me in the middle of a busy road. So that was kind of the first thing that happened last week. So unfortunately, I had to go take my Jeep to the shop, to the dealership shop. And thankfully I got the warranty, because unfortunately they found out there was a part that needed to be replaced, which was fine because the warranty covered it. So I was like, thank goodness, because it was kind of an expensive part. But then, so that was the good news, is that it's like, okay, you know what? It's just a part. It can be replaced. It's okay. Well, then we found out though, because for any of you who are Jeep people, they're great cars. I love it. They can also be a little high maintenance though. And unfortunately, what happened is the part that they're getting for my Jeep is specifically for Jeep, and it is on back order, which means it could be like a month before they get that part. So unfortunately, my Jeep is going to be in the shop for a while. So that was kind of the beginning of the week last week, which was kind of a bummer. I gotta admit, I really, I've only had that car for 2 months. So I was just like, no. And then of course I went down the rabbit hole. It was like, oh my gosh, like, did we make the right decision getting this car? And all that. But like, it's still a used car. Things still happen. You're never guaranteed anything. And no, and I was just glad, honestly, that we got the warranty, because the nice thing is the warranty covered the cost of the part, and it covers everything. And then not only that, it also, because, I found out, okay, well, if my car's going to be in the shop, right? Like, what am I going to do for a car? Because, I still need one. And the nice thing is that the warranty also covered the loaner car. So the dealership had a loaner car that they can give me that I can be driving around in the meantime. So that was a good thing, because I'm like, oh my gosh, had I not gotten the warranty, not only would I have been paying for that part, but I also would have been paying for like a rental car. And I could not imagine how much it would be to pay for a rental car for like a month. Like, that really would have been a big bummer. So thankfully though, that is all covered. They gave me, a good car. It's like a little SUV, which is great. Works awesome. And so that's kind of what's going on. So that was the beginning of the week. And I have to admit, when it stalled in traffic like that, it was like one of the busiest roads where I live. And I'm like, of course, it had to be this road. But thankfully, I was able to, get it to the dealership safely. And it just is what it is. I mean, I never like to deal with car problems, but it's just, part of life. So what can I say? So I am noticing, guys, I'm getting a little bit of wax residue on these. So I have this tiny little brush that I use. And it's almost kind of like a toothbrush, and it really just kind of gets that wax away, that wax residue. And I usually go over the entire diamond painting with this after. Some people use a toothbrush or something, but as long as it kind of has like those stiff bristles, it works really well. So that was the beginning of the week. So it was kind of crazy. So during this time too, so let me also say, so that was the beginning of the week. And then the next day, Tuesday was a good day, but my daughter, and this was actually really fun. My daughter actually had, for those of you who may be new or just kind of catching up to speed. So our school district has something different. Our school district has something called an intermediate school, which means elementary only goes up to 4th grade. Then they have a school for 5th and 6th graders, which is the intermediate school. And then they have, regular middle school, which is 7th and 8th, and then high school. And so my daughter, she is going to be going into the intermediate school next year. And what I love about that is, it kind of starts getting them prepared for like middle school and high school, but it also still is like a very structured environment, very much like elementary. So I've always liked the idea of like having an intermediate school for that age, because after teaching middle school myself and seeing like 6th graders with 8th graders, because that's what a lot of schools do, like middle schools 6th, 7th, and 8th. I personally am not a huge fan of it. I don't think like 6th graders that are like 10 or 11 or 12 should be with like 14-year-olds, because there's a huge difference in maturity. But and that's only from my experience teaching middle school. Like, I used to teach 6th grade and middle school, and I just always was like, oh my goodness, these poor kids, like they have no idea what they're getting into because they've left an environment where, they still had recess, and then suddenly they're thrown into an environment where it's like, oh yeah, you got to figure out how to get to class on time, and you got to figure out how to open your locker, and oh yeah, no recess. So it's always like a huge change for those kiddos. So that's why I'm really thankful for the intermediate schools, because, they really slowly, gradually get the kiddos used to that kind of schedule in a more controlled environment. So anyway, last Tuesday was the open house for my daughter's intermediate school, because she'll be going next year. And I was really apprehensive about it because, it's tough. It's going to be a new change. It's a new school. Unfortunately, a lot of my daughter's friends from elementary are going to a different school because they kind of split the kids up by neighborhood. And so, I was really apprehensive because I'm like, oh man, how's this going to go? How's she going to feel about it? And it honestly went really well. So I was really, really happy about that. Afterwards, my daughter really liked it. She was talking about it more. And it was really good. Now, I still think we're going to have some hurdles to get through because it is going to be such a big change. And, for her, she's only got two and a half weeks of school left. And I know she's feeling all the feelings because she knows that a lot of her friends, she won't see next year and things like that. She's kind of going to be starting new again, which, that's always hard. But at the same time, I'm like, I know that part's going to be hard, but at least I know like the environment she's going to, I think is also going to be very, very good in helping her with that transition. So that made me really happy for sure. And for any of you with kids, like I think you guys understand, like it's always hard to see your kids. It's those growing pains, right? It's always tough. And especially for my daughter who is autistic, who does, need a little more support in that area. It does, as a parent, you really do want to advocate for your kid, but you also want them to be able to, figure things out on their own and be able to develop on their own. And long story short, it was a really good open house though, and she really enjoyed it. And near the end, she was feeling really comfortable with things. We were just really happy about it. So that was super, super good. So that was Tuesday. So Monday was crazy. Tuesday was like, an open house and all that. Oh, and then I forgot too last Monday. Oh my gosh, I forgot. That's why I couldn't film my WIP and chat last Monday. Because before my car broke down, I had to go to one of my husband and I have rental properties. And I had to go there because we were replacing a washing machine in one of the rental properties. So I had to be there for the delivery and the installation and all that. So that's something I do now, with as a form of work. I get to work from home, which is awesome. And again, it's like super flexible. But that's what I do is I help manage my husband and I's rental properties. And so that was just one of the things that needed to be done on Monday. So Monday was pretty crazy. And then Tuesday, I didn't have my loaner car yet. So that was kind of interesting. I had to kind of depend on my sister, which was amazing, giving me a ride to places. And then finally was able to get the loaner car, that evening, after my daughter's open house. So that was Tuesday. And then not only that, Tuesday was like another storm morning because it is like we are fully in the middle of storm season here, guys. So, which by the way, if I have any viewers who are in like Oklahoma or Nebraska or my goodness, I know Texas, you guys have been getting hit with like the flooding down in South Texas. I am thinking of you guys because I know that is really, really tough. Mother Nature can be crazy and weather is not something to mess about with. So for any of you guys who are dealing with that right now, I am definitely thinking of you because it can be really scary. And I know here living, kind of the Midwest, we're like in Tornado Alley. It can get real really quick and it can get pretty scary, and it's kind of amazing, what these storms are capable of doing. So that was another thing. So all last week it was like tons of storm warnings. And in fact, we have a storm warning today. So we'll see what happens. Part of me, I keep crossing my fingers. I'm like, okay, it's hit north of us. It's hit south of us. Like, when is it going to get us? But anyways, so that was Tuesday. Wednesday was not too bad. It was pretty calm. But then the evening, it kind of got busy again. My daughter had her church class picnic. She attends a church class every Wednesday. And they had like an end of the year picnic to celebrate. So that was fun. But then there was also a swim team meeting because my daughter does swim team in the summer. So my husband and I actually had to kind of divide and conquer. And I took my daughter to the picnic, and my husband went to the swim team meeting, like the parent information meeting, and did that. So that was kind of crazy. And then, so through all of this, I realized, so by the time I get to Thursday, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I haven't even cleaned my house. Like my house was already looking pretty gnarly. And I really wanted to get it at least somewhat tidy because then Friday, my husband was actually having surgery. Now, thankfully, it was, it was minor surgery. It was outpatient surgery. So, but I don't know. I'm one of those people that's like, if you're gonna have to be recovering somewhere, at least recover somewhere where it's like tidy. Like that's how I am. So I really wanted to make sure I got the house ready. I knew, wanted to kind of get some special drinks and stuff like that my husband could have because he was having sinus surgery. So, I was just trying to get stuff ready for that and make sure there was things that he liked and to help him recover. My husband has been so amazing with taking care of me when I've had surgeries because I had a surgery last year. And then I've had a surgery before that he's helped with my recovery. So, I wanted to make sure I could do the same for him because this was like his first surgery in probably 20 years. So it was definitely, it's been a long time. And so I wanted to make sure all that was ready. So that was kind of Thursday. Thursday was finally the day where I could kind of be home. And, I wasn't home for that long because I still had to go to the grocery store and, get all the things and, pick up my husband's prescription for post-surgery. Thankfully, the doctor sent that ahead of time, which is always really nice. And, so I was getting ready for Friday because not only was Friday going to be my husband's surgery, but it was also going to be the day where we found out my father-in-law's neurological testing results were. So I had mentioned this before in a WIP and chat that my father-in-law currently, he is showing signs of dementia or Alzheimer's. We don't really know exactly which one, and he had been placed on medication, but they did want to do more in-depth testing, which I'm really glad because, I don't know, for me, I think the more information you're equipped with, the better, the better resources or treatment you can get. So he had undergone testing, and it was 2 weeks ago, and we'd been waiting for this testing. He'd been on the wait list for this testing for like 6 months. So sure enough, Friday was going to be the day where we got all the results of the testing, and they basically, lay it out in a big report for you and go over the report, and, you can learn about different therapies and things like that, depending on what the results of the report are and the testing and all that. So we were getting ready for that too. So basically what Friday was going to look like was I was going to obviously be for my husband there for surgery. And then once he was home and settled and he was allowed to, be left alone for an hour or two, then I was going to go with my in-laws to go listen to the results because, they wanted another person there. And that's how it's been. Like when my in-laws now have appointments, like usually my husband and I are there because, yeah, just to have that extra person. So, so Thursday I'm kind of getting ready for all that. And then sure enough, I get a call from Blake, or I get a text message. And he's like, so things have changed, dot, dot, dot. And I was like, oh no, what's going on? Like, and of course, my mind goes to, I'm like, oh gosh, they've had to reschedule a surgery or something like that. Like, that's what's going through my mind. And I'm like, and so I text him back. I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, have they had to reschedule your surgery? Like, what is it? And he's like, no, but they've had to reschedule my dad's results. And I'm like, what? What's going on? So I call him and I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, why do we have to reschedule? All that. So we find out, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, guys, because yeah. Anyhow, so we found out they had to reschedule the results because my mother-in-law had to have an emergency consult with a specialist. And unfortunately now my mother-in-law is going to be needing another surgery. So it's been, yeah, it was crazy. We're like, we're just like shocked. We're like, wait, what? Like it just totally came at us out of left field. So we found that out that they had to postpone the results and reschedule them because my mother-in-law was going to have an emergency consult with a specialist to be seen and then to get on the schedule for surgery for her. So that's kind of where we are right now. And it's just tough because my poor mother-in-law, I mean, it was literally just now a year ago where she had the big surgery after her cancer diagnosis. So it's just like, oh my gosh, like it's just another thing that she's had to deal with. So so that was really tough to hear. Again, first of all, because we were so ready, like we were so prepared to get these results and we were in a good mind frame. We were kind of like, okay, like we're ready to hear whatever it is and, prepare for it. And then instead it was kind of like, oh, no results yet. But this was kind of out of left field. And now, hey, we're looking at probably another surgery for my mother-in-law. So that was definitely pretty crazy. It was a lot to process. Now, thank goodness, the results for my father-in-law, we're still getting them this week. They're actually going to be on Wednesday. So I'm really glad of that. So it's not like they were postponed for too long. And then now we're just waiting to see when my mother-in-law will be scheduled for her surgery. So, and just to put everyone at ease, like it's not life-threatening or anything like that. But it is more just of a private thing. So I'm not going to go into it too much, but, yeah, unfortunately she is needing another surgery and thankfully hers is also minor. It's not as major as it was last year. It is like an outpatient one, but it's still just kind of like, my goodness, like she's been through a lot this year and she just had major surgery last year. So it's kind of like, oh my goodness, it just doesn't end. So yeah, so that was crazy. So that was kind of Thursday. So we kind of had to reassess things and get our minds wrapped around it. But at the same time, I'm like, maybe in the long run, it's better because now, because of the results for my father-in-law getting postponed, we're like, you know what, maybe that's a good thing because now Blake will be able to be there. He'll be recovered enough from his that he can accompany his parents to that. And so I'm like, okay, maybe in the long run, it was a good thing. It's not a good thing that my mother-in-law needs another surgery, but at least with the results of my father-in-law, we can kind of both be there maybe and listen to them and not just one of us. And, that's probably a good thing. So yeah, so that was pretty crazy. So then Friday is a surgery day, and really, it went awesome. It went really well. I would say the only thing that kind of sucked is like they were an hour late, but unfortunately, that's just kind of how surgery is. Unfortunately, you never know. So we get there at his check-in time was 8:30, and surgery was scheduled for 10:30. And it ended up not really happening until like after 11:30. So he was there in pre-op for like 3 hours before they even got to him, but that's okay. But luckily, the surgery went really well. It was definitely needed because they found out there was, it was basically worse than what they had originally thought. So thank goodness they did do it. And yeah, hopefully, I felt so bad for my husband. Like he has not been able to breathe out of his nose for like forever. And I know it's really affected him, and it's like, gosh, it's gotta be miserable to feel that way all the time. So I'm really glad that that's taken care of now. And yeah, hopefully, things will just continue to improve. And I'm really glad he got to have it before our vacation too, because that was another thing. I'm just like, oh man, like, and again, like we would have been fine, but it's like, I just would have felt bad for him because I'm like, it's not fun to, like, I knew he hadn't been feeling 100% for a long time. And, when you go on vacation, and when we've been planning this vacation now for like 6 months, it's like, you want to feel 100%. You want to feel your best. So I'm really glad that that's definitely more of a possibility now that he's had that surgery, and, he'll feel good when we go on vacation, which is crazy, guys. Like I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, we leave in like 25 days. Like we're leaving at the end of this month for our cruise, which is totally wild to me. I'm like, how did it come up so fast? So yeah, like the last couple of weeks of May are going to be crazy because it'll be Maggie's last week of school, and like her leaving elementary, which is a big deal. And then we've got her birthday, her 10th birthday, which we're planning for. And then right after that, like we leave for our vacation. So it's gonna be crazy. But it'll be fun. It'll be totally fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm super excited. I'm really, really excited about just the time, honestly, to really, truly just disconnect. Because again, for those who may be catching up or new, we're going to be going on a cruise. We're going on our first cruise. We've never been on one before. And yeah, I really am. I'm super excited to just really be able to disconnect from it all. And it's not because I'm, upset or burnt out or anything like that, but like it's been a wild couple of months. So, and I'm just kind of like, it'll be, I'm kind of ready for just some quality time for the three of us. And that's the one thing I love is that for Blake and Maggie and I, like, we really do. We love having that time together. We're kind of the three musketeers in a sense. And we do. We really just enjoy that family time where the three of us can just be together and not have anything else going on. So I'm really looking forward to that for sure. And because I got to be honest, guys, like I will legit be off the grid. I don't even think we're gonna like we have the option to get internet like on the cruise and all that, but I don't even think we're going to. I honestly think we are going to just really just not be plugged into anything. And yeah, so so probably during that first week of June, you will probably not see anything from me. like nothing, like no Instagram postings or anything like that. Because I will legit be totally unplugged. I will not be connected to internet or anything. But in a sense, I'm like, I think that's a good thing. I think once in a while, you just need that, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping though, I'm hoping I'll probably like have maybe one or two videos at least up, like just to have something up, like I'll plan it ahead of time. But as far as like any new postings or progress postings or anything like that, you will probably not hear anything. I will not be in communication. But yeah, I am really looking forward to it. So, but yeah, so that was a crazy week. And then this weekend, it was really just, taking care of Blake and making sure he was doing well. And he is, like, he's doing great with his recovery. He's recovering so much faster than I am. Like, I had the same surgery he did a few years ago, and it took me like 2 weeks to recover, and he's already just like out and about. He's doing great. So that's the nice thing. And then Saturday, Maggie had a doubleheader in volleyball, and that was super fun to watch. I would say that was probably one of the most exciting games I've ever seen my daughter play in, because they just, oh my gosh, they are just so much fun. It's really fun to watch as they've gotten older. And now that, she's been playing volleyball for almost 2 years now, like just to see the improvement she's had, it's just amazing. It's so much fun to watch. And I mean, those girls basically like rallied back, like came from behind and rallied back to win their 2 games. So it was really, really fun. And then not only that, we actually found out that they were asked to play in a tournament. So that'll be another thing actually later this month. Is she'll have a volleyball tournament too, but I think that'll be fun because it'll be like her first real tournament, and I think that's cool. I think that's like just neat exposure to be able to have to kind of more advanced competition and all that. So I'm really looking forward to it, and Maggie's really excited about it. So yeah, so that was pretty cool to hear that her team, got invited to play in a tournament. So I think that'll be really fun too. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy, busy, but honestly, like it's all been good things. Like, sometimes busy doesn't necessarily mean bad. Again, I'm not thrilled that my mother-in-law has to have another surgery. Like, it just sucks. But, I know she's a trooper and she'll get through it, and we'll support her as best we can. But, I do feel bad for that. It just, yeah. I mean, she just really has. She's really been through a lot in this last year. And, just to add something else to her plate like that, I'm just like, man, like we just need, we need like a year, like between, like last year I had my hysterectomy, then my mother-in-law had her surgery, and now my husband's having his surgery, and then my mother-in-law will have another surgery. I'm like, we need like a good year without any health stuff, because it's been a little wild. So hopefully, maybe after, I don't know. I don't want to say anything out loud, guys, because we just never know. But yeah, it has definitely been kind of a crazy year for health. So I'm really hoping maybe that tones down a bit, just a bit, just a little, right? But yeah, so that was kind of last week. It was, again, busy, but I mean, honestly, everything kind of settled in as it should, and things are fine. And and I want to just thank you. I tried to do like a YouTube community post just to update people, and I really appreciate it. I had some really sweet comments, just like, saying they're thinking of us, and prayers and all that. So thank you so much for that. That was super nice, and believe me, I really, really appreciate it. I know I didn't get to respond to them, but I know I liked them, and just thank you so much for that. That was seriously so nice and so sweet. And this community really is the best. You guys are just always amazing about rallying around people and showing support. And yeah, I've just met some amazing people through this community. And I think what it is because like we've all been there, right? Like we've all had those different trials that, you know, challenge us and that aren't always easy. And that's what I love about this is I feel like this community is so open to talking about that. Like nothing is off the table. And, you know, that's always just really appreciated because I guarantee you whatever you're going through, there is someone else who's gone through it and can definitely, you know, sympathize and empathize and, you know, just think of you. And, you know, there is really always someone to talk to for sure. And I think this community is just so open with that. And I really, really love it. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, so as far as reading, let's see, kind of back to the lighter stuff now, right? I have not read. I started a book, I got like 2 pages in, and then I have not read it since. So we'll get there. I think, honestly, I think the cruise is going to be a perfect time for me to just pick up a book. So that's the plan, because I'm just like, I haven't, guys. I have not been reading anything. And I'm like, oh, like I was on such a roll, and now I'm just like in such a rut. But that's okay. Like I say, it'll happen when it happens. And maybe, yeah, the cruise will be the perfect time to just read and check out. Although I do think I am going to bring a diamond painting on the cruise. I talked about that in my last live. I'm like, okay, do I bring one or not? And I think the consensus was like, yes, bring one. So I think I will. I'm just debating what I want to bring. And if I either want to bring like a WIP or if I want to start a new one. So we'll see. I think my goal is to have one finish for May. I don't know what that finish is going to be, but it's going to be a finish. And then that'll free up some storage. And then I can figure out like if I want to kit up something new or bring an old WIP or something like that. I don't know yet. I do kind of want to do a round though. I've been working on squares for quite a while. And I am kind of like, you know, I might be in the mood to start a round. We shall see. We'll see. I don't know yet. So that's something I got to start thinking about. Because, yeah, I definitely think I'm going to bring a diamond painting on the cruise. For sure. But, yeah. Now, okay, like I said, I'm not reading anything. Guess it's just not happening. However, I will say I did watch a show. I had always been curious about it, and it's an old show. Like it's not even on anymore. But like I just watched all the replay, and I pretty much binged watched the entire series. And it was called Girls, and it's on Max. And it's about like, you know, basically these millennial girls like right out of college. And I'd always been curious about it because I remember when it was popular and, you know, but at the time I didn't have HBO Max. So I was like, no, I'm not going to watch it. But I was curious about it. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try and watch this. And so I binge watched the entire series because there's only 6 seasons. And it was good. Would I recommend it? I don't know, to be perfectly honest with you. It's definitely, well, first of all, it's pretty graphic. Like when it comes to like nudity and stuff like that, I was even like I wasn't quite clutching my pearls, but I was even like, oh, okay. like, do I really need to see that? I don't know. It's a little different on a TV show than like reading in a book. So that was one thing about it that I was kind of like, okay, that's kind of a lot. But part of it too is, and I know like they did this purposely for the show, like this writer, she's kind of a controversial writer to begin with. But like, you don't like any of the characters. Like, there's not really a character you can root for. And so that was something too that I'm kind of like, I don't know, part of me, I'm like, I kind of liked that. I'm like, yeah, you know, like, none of these people are good. Like, you don't like any of them. But at the same time, I don't know, there's still always something where I'm like, oh, like, I want to be able to root for someone. Like, there's got to be someone that I can be like, yay, you know. And really in this show, there kind of is, but then they'll still do something crappy, you know? So maybe that's the thing. It's like, hey, there's no perfect people and like we all do stupid things. So maybe that's kind of in a sense the lesson that it's like teaching. But it was, I don't know, it was interesting to say the least. So yeah, but it's called Girls and it's on HBO and it's an older show. But it was interesting to say the least. I'm still like kind of have mixed thoughts on the whole thing, but I did watch it and I did watch the whole series. And yeah, you know, that's kind of my thoughts on that right now. I do want to see though, I'm trying to see, I think my husband and I are going to get Netflix again because for a while we just didn't. We had to cut down on something, so we just got rid of Netflix. Because we had like, because my daughter like watches Disney and then like we like HBO and all that, but we decided to get Netflix again. And there's a movie on Netflix that actually looks really good, and I think it's called like Unfrosted, and it's with like Jerry Seinfeld and Melissa McCarthy, and I'm like, oh, that actually looks good. Like I do want to see that because I think it's about like how they invented Pop-Tarts or something. I think that's what it's about. I'm not sure yet. So if you guys have seen it, let me know. Because I am actually kind of curious about it, and it does look like a fun movie. So we'll see. I'm like, that's kind of an interesting movie, like topic to do a movie around, but I think that would actually kind of be fun. And I'm like, I don't even remember the last time I've seen like Jerry Seinfeld in anything. So I thought that was kind of cool too. My husband, like we're here, like my husband was a huge Seinfeld fan. And so we've always kind of had like Seinfeld episodes playing or reruns. Like we always watch the Festivus episode around Christmas time. So it's always kind of fun to see like Jerry Seinfeld in something because my husband has always been a fan of Seinfeld. And I got into it after I got married to him. So it's kind of cool to see something new with him. But yeah, we'll see about, I don't know, if you guys have any other shows that you guys have been seeing, definitely put them in the comments because yeah, I'll be looking for something new to watch for sure. But I have been having fun just kind of binge watching these older shows that I never watched before because I'm not a huge TV watcher. So I have to admit, I'm like, oh, it's kind of been fun to watch a show again because, again, I don't do that very often. So yeah, I've enjoyed it. But so coming up as far as events, obviously I'm not going to be doing any events until August. With my wonderful friend Laura with Anxiety Art Adventures. We are doing the Fantastic Felines event, which I'm super excited about. I think that is going to be so much fun because it just focuses on felines. So if you have a kit that has a cat or a lion or a tiger or anything of that nature, join the event because it'll be really, really fun. And what I love about hosting with Laura, this will be our second event that we've done together, is we really try to keep it chill. Like, it's just fun. I love, like, Laura and I think really vibe together well, and we're both similar in the sense where it's like, let's just keep it chill. That's the fun way to do an event. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that'll be in August. And really until then, I am just really enjoying working on some WIPs, you know, maybe kitting up something new. I think probably the biggest thing for me is I think this summer, I'm really just trying to focus on just bright colors, to be quite honest. I really just want to work on canvases that have fun, bright colors that just make me happy. I think that's why I've really enjoyed Sugar High so much, is because the colors are just amazing. And I'm really liking this one too, like all these pretty bright oranges and everything. Like they just make me happy. And this is Mandy Manzano too, so her kits are always fun to do. But that's kind of what I'm focusing on. I don't think, like I've said before, I don't think I'm gonna do, any other events. I definitely wanna make sure I give them a shout out though, because, events are not hard or are not easy to plan, and they do take a lot of time and effort. And so, the creators who are putting on these big events like Summer of the Masters and Jada Jamboree and all these great events, I definitely want to acknowledge them. I may not participate in them, but I definitely want to give them a shout out because there's been some really cool creative events, I feel like, especially this past year with new creators coming up. And so I'm just like, I really still want to support them and show them and, give them the love because, putting an event together, it is not easy. It definitely takes some effort. And there's just been so many good ones this year. So, I definitely want to make sure I am giving them a shout out, definitely giving them, their fair dues, but probably take a step back from actually participating in them just for this summer. Next summer might be totally different, but I think for this summer I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to focus on bright colors and WIPs and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But that is really pretty much all that is going on. Like I said, it was kind of a crazy week, but everything fell into place. Everything's fine, or will be fine. Not really worried about it or stressing about it. And I know coming up, at least in the States, it is Mother's Day. So for all you moms out there, or, or I don't know, not just moms, but moms to pets or people who are, the stand-in moms for people. Happy Mother's Day coming up. I know that is next weekend. And, there's a lot of people without kids that are definitely moms in my book. So definitely happy Mother's Day to you coming up. And let me know what you're working on. I'd love to know if you're participating in any events this month. I know there's quite a few. I know one of them that, you know what, technically I guess this could count. Shanta from Diamond Painting with Shanta and Crafting with Susie. I know they're doing Mandy's Marvelous Mind-Blowing May, which is Mandy Manzano. So go check them out because they're awesome creators. And I know they're doing that. And just let me know what you're working on. Or let me know if you're not working on anything, or let me know what you're buying too, which does bring me to I will say, guys, I did buy a new diamond painting kit. I'm not going to say what yet, but I did buy a new diamond painting kit, and I bought it from a business that I have never purchased from before. So I'm really excited to test it out. This has been a diamond painting business that I've been super intrigued by and really wanted to finally try it out. So I did. I finally caved and I did buy a new kit. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what that's gonna be like. But other than that, I am still been very slow to purchase anything. Really since ending my no-buy at the end of March, I have bought 2 kits and some putty. That's about it, which hopefully I can get a video up soon. I've just been, I don't know guys, I haven't been in a huge rush to do unboxing or small business videos, which I do love. I love doing them, but I've just been, I don't know, just kind of taking my time with them. And that's kind of just where I'm at with video making right now. But you know what? I'm okay with that. So if you guys are okay with it, because I don't mind just kind of taking my time with those things right now. I'm not in any rush to pump out the next video. But I think for the most part, I think people are okay with that. Because also, there's just so many great creators out there too. I feel like I'm like, even like there's something great to watch every day, I feel like, as far as diamond painting content. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't gotta rush it. We're fine. Because I know there's going to be other videos from other creators that are just amazing. So I'm going to watch those. But yeah, anyways, let me see how long I've been going for. Oh, okay. I have been going around for the right amount of time. So I'm going to go and end it there for today. I hope everyone is doing well. Please let me know how you're doing. I love to hear from you. Like I said before, I want to hear what you're working on, what you're doing, any events that you're participating in. And again, thank you for the kind thoughts and prayers from last week. I really do appreciate it. It was a crazy week, but we got through it, and gonna get through anything else that comes comes my way. So yeah, but I hope you take care. I hope you found some joy in this video, because it always brings me joy making them. And make sure you're taking care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you the next time. Bye.